Hello my YouTube friends, this is Brian with BG Model Workshop. We're doing a bench update today to let you know about a project I've been working on for a few months actually. Quite a while I've been working on this kit. Whenever the inspiration strikes, I pull it off the shelf, work on it, put it back when I'm done. And then another bit of inspiration strikes, pull it off the shelf, hit it again, you know, that type of thing. So this is a 2-in-1 kit and comes with a couple of options, which were mainly limited to the front suspension and the so you can adjust the height on the front suspension and also the front the wheels. So you know, this is, here's a close-up, like a torque thrust style. I didn't really care for those, especially with the decal for the rear rotors. And I know there are rotor kits out there and everything. I just haven't gotten around to trying one of those kits out yet. So I went with the stock style, at least I'm going to call them stock style wheel, and it's supposed to be chrome, but I stripped it except for the center cap. Those are separate, so thankful for that. And then went around the bead with the chrome pen to help give that a little bit of a jazz to it. I like how it's looking. It's of course a truck tire, so it's nothing special or snazzy. The tire to wheel ratio looks a little heavy, so we'll see how that looks when it's actually on the truck. Maybe that'll bring it all together. Here's the cab, and I'm doing this as a shop truck for BG Scale Model Garage, right? And I thought, well, if it's going to be a shop truck, it's going to need to be a little on the beat up side, because these guys, they're out delivering parts, picking up parts, going off to the junkyard, scrounging for parts. So you know, this is going to be it's going to be used and abused. I did a dark wash on the inside of the engine compartment to try and, you know, make it look a little oily, help bring out some of the lines that are in there. And there's a couple of new parts in here because I imagine those are the parts that have been replaced most recently, because it is a shop truck, it's a working truck, and you just need to keep it on the road, right? I decided to strip all the chrome and just go back over it with Tesser's metallizers. I'd use the aluminum, the non-buffing aluminum, and I like how that looks. The toned down look. It looks like I just went and shot everything with a dull coat lacquer or something, but that's actually just aluminum spray paint sprayed on there. And I started off this kit with a couple of coats of the brown primer, a couple of coats of gray primer, and then a couple of coats of the French blue. And this is what it originally looked like here before I started hitting it with some sanding sticks. There was a great paint job before I started. I mean, it wasn't like I was hiding any mistakes or flaws or anything. I did this on purpose. I was like, you know, this needs to be a shop truck. We need to shop it up a little bit, right? So pretty authentic looking in my opinion. I don't hear anybody complaining, not yet anyway. So that's the cab. One thing about the cab though, the cab's back, is that this front windshield, that's kind of a pain in the neck to put in there. The windshield itself is just big enough to fit in the window opening, and it was a tedious thing to install by putting on some masking tape and then taping it in place and then adding a little bit of glue here and there. Here's the hood again with some patina on the hood. It was kind of difficult to do the hood and make it look like it's a natural patina. And then the turn signals are again just chrome pen with a little bit of orange Sharpie in there to help bring those out. Dark wash underneath because we'll be displaying it with the hood open. Here's the interior. Mexican blanket is from Extreme Scale Detail, Chip and Lisa. Thanks guys, I appreciate that. Very affordable, really easy to do. I say if you're doing a hot rod, rat rod, any type of rod that needs a Mexican blanket style interior, hit them up on extremescaledetail.com. Check them out. Got a lot of other stuff there too. I like using straight pins for shifters. You know, I can buy a box of those things, get like 100 of them for just a couple bucks. And now I have 100 shifters I can use for 100 models. So needless to say, everything I build from now on is going to have a shift 4-speed in it, right? And then the steering wheel, let's get a close up on that. steering wheel, I am not sure what kit this is from, but it is from the parts box. This is not original to the truck. I really like how this looks, and I planned on doing it in red because I figured, you know, this is a shop truck. They're just putting it back together to keep it running. They probably pulled this out of the back parts bin themselves, added it on there. So I'm going to distress this a little bit up in this area here, and kind of do a wash and age it up a little bit, because, you know, if you're driving a car with a stick shift, you're going to be holding onto the wheel up in this area, and if you're wearing a ring, you're going to be scratching up that steering wheel. So I figured that'd be kind of a cool little accent piece there. The bed, this took the most work out of the entire body, actually. This is a piece of balsa wood. As a matter of fact, it doesn't cost very much. It's 1/16 by 1/16 by 2 and 3. I don't know what that means right there, but it's, yeah, it's 1/16 of an inch thick. And I just I scored it, stained it, tossed it in there like it's a piece of paneling. So I didn't want to have to paint the bed. And then I used a nail and pushed it from the backside to give it these dents in here and everything. I think that's going to look pretty cool. But yeah, this whole bed piece is just one solid piece of plastic, except for the tail lights and the chain mounts here, and then of course the tailgate itself, which is aged up. I got it scratched up on the backside too. This is the one thing that's going to get beat up the most on one of these types of trucks. A little bit of rust in the corners. That's, you know, the working end of the truck and everything. So the engine and chassis, I'm just doing a straight flat black chassis, you know, nothing fancy. Yellow shocks. I always liked those old Moreau shocks that were yellow. I thought that was a good contrast for the black chassis. And then with the engine, I just did a pre-wired distributor. My eyesight's not what it used to be, so a pre-wired distributor is the best way for me to go on that type of thing. And then I did some black string tied around the wires in order to make it look like some zip tie. And then I really enjoy doing solder headers, custom solder headers. So we'll do some collectors down in here, and then some pipes coming out, maybe, you know, in front of the rear wheel or something like that, make it look kind of racy. But I really like doing the solder headers, because every time I do it, I just get better at it. You know, the bends can get kind of graceful. It's a real level of artistry that I'm trying to achieve. And then once I get the engine fully attached to the chassis, because it's just kind of dry fit right now, we'll do a black wash to bring out the fins on the valve covers, and then some of the detail on the intake manifold. And then since I'm doing a electric fan, I did not put a fan on the front pulley there for the water pump. And then the roof comes separate. It's a separate piece, and I like that because I wanted to shoot this a lighter color. I used Tamiya Racing White on this, so it has a little bit of an ivory color to it, and then just age that up as well. So that's what we got going on the workbench for right now. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you again. Bye.